The Galactic Council chamber was a place of power. It floated in the heart of the Orion Spire, a massive space station larger than most cities. Here, the rulers of dozens of species gathered to argue, scheme, and decide the fate of billions. But today, the chamber echoed with laughter. The laughter was not human. At the long silver table, humans sat silently, while aliens around them mocked. Tall insectoids clicked their mandibles in amusement. Scaled reptilian lords hissed with cruel smiles. Even the soft-skinned Serati, usually polite, joined the whispers. They call themselves explorers, one alien sneered, yet their ships crawl slower than a child's toy. Another added, humans build tiny colonies and think they matter. Do they not understand the galaxy already belongs to stronger races? The laughter grew louder. The human delegation did not respond. They sat in silence, their faces calm, though inside their blood burned. They had heard these insults before: weak, primitive, fragile. Humanity was always the punchline in alien halls, and yet none of the aliens noticed the faint signal that pulsed beneath the chamber's surface. A secure channel, a transmission sent far into the void. Because while the council mocked, humanity was not sitting idle. High above a quiet star system, hidden in the black, a shadow waited. The Phantom, it was the most advanced stealth ship humanity had ever built. A battleship wrapped in layers of cloaking fields, heat-bending panels, and radar-absorbing alloys. To alien senses, it did not exist. To the naked eye, it was only darkness. Inside the Phantom, the crew sat at their stations in silence. They had been listening to the council session through hidden feeds. Every insult, every cruel laugh, every mocking word had reached their ears. Lieutenant Arden clenched his fists. They think we're children. They think we're blind. Captain. Alara Stone sat at the command chair, her face hard as steel. Her eyes were fixed on the void outside, but her voice was calm and sharp. They only see what we allow them to see, she said. Mockery is easy when the truth hides in shadow. Her words silenced the bridge. Back in the council chamber, the mocking grew louder. A Dravic representative, tall and armored in golden plates, rose to speak. His voice was like thunder. Humans pretend they are equals here, but they have no fleets, no power, no weapons to match us. They are weak. They survive only because stronger races allow it. Without protection, their colonies would already be ash. The room filled with hisses and cruel chuckles. Another alien, an insectoid delegate, added, "Perhaps the humans should entertain us with a song. That is what primitives do, is it not? Perform for their betters." The laughter was cruel. The human ambassador did not rise to answer. He sat in silence, hands folded, eyes steady. Many thought his silence was weakness. But if anyone had looked closer, they might have seen the faintest trace of a smile, because humanity knew something the council did not. In the shadows of space, the Phantom moved. Slowly, silently, it glided between asteroids, invisible to all. Its hull shimmered faintly as cloaking fields bent light around it. "Enemy patrol ahead," Arden reported. "Dominion scouts. Standard formation. Do they see us?" Captain Stone asked. "Negative," Arden replied. "They're blind." Stone leaned back in her chair. Her calm never wavered. "Good. Let them stay blind. We wait until they strike." The crew nodded. They all knew the mission. The Council believed humans had nothing. The Dominion believed humans were weak. Both would soon learn the truth. Back at the council, the insults turned sharper. They cannot even defend their colonies. One alien laughed. Last year, pirates raided their outer worlds. Their people begged for help, did they not? Another added cruelly, perhaps humans enjoy being weak. Perhaps they like kneeling. The chamber roared with amusement, but not everyone laughed. A few quiet racers, long oppressed by the Dominion, watched the humans closely. They saw the silence, the calm faces, the lack of anger. To them, this was strange. Why would humans not defend themselves? Why endure such humiliation? The answer would come soon. On the Phantom's bridge, alarms lit up. Dominion fleet moving toward a human colony, Arden said. His voice was tense now. Dozens of ships. They intend to make an example. Stone's eyes narrowed. And the council, they do nothing. They mock us while our people bleed. Stone rose to her feet. Her voice dropped to a whisper, cold and sharp. Then let us answer. The Phantom turned, its engines humming low, silent as death. It followed the Dominion fleet, cloaked, unseen. On the human colony below, panic spread as Dominion warships entered orbit. Cruisers blotted out the sun, their golden hulls glowing. The alien commander's voice thundered across the planet. Humans are weak. This colony belongs to the Dominion now. Kneel or burn, the colonists cried out, voices filled with fear. They sent desperate calls into the void. Is anyone out there? Humanity is alone. For a moment, there was only silence. Then a voice answered. Calm, cold, steady. No, never alone. The Phantom had arrived. Asterisk, the hidden shadow, the Dominion fleet, hung above the human colony like vultures waiting for a feast. Cruisers and frigates formed a golden wall in orbit. Their weapons pointed at the small planet below. On the ground, people gathered in fear. Mothers held children close. Soldiers gripped their rifles, knowing they could do nothing against warships the size of cities. The alien commander's voice thundered again from orbit. Submit to the Dominion. Kneel, and perhaps we will spare your world. The colonists remained silent, terrified but defiant. They knew kneeling meant slavery. Then the gums crackled. A voice, calm and steady, cut through the noise. No, humanity is not alone. Far above, hidden in the black, the Phantom moved, cloaked and silent. The great stealth ship drifted into the Dominion formation like a ghost. Its hull shimmered, invisible to enemy sensors. To the Dominion, it was as if nothing was there. On the Phantom's bridge, Captain Alara Stone stood tall. Her crew worked with quiet precision, every movement controlled. Maintain cloak, she ordered. Cloak steady, Lieutenant Arden confirmed. They don't see us. The captain's eyes narrowed. Good, let's keep it that way for now. The Phantom had been humanity's secret for years. Built in hidden shipyards, tested in silence. It was designed for one purpose, to strike from the shadows. It was larger than any Dominion cruiser, with weapons hidden behind armored plates. Its railguns could punch through dreadnoughts. Its missile bays held warheads the galaxy had never seen. But its true strength was its silence. It could move through fleets unseen, listen to every word, record every insultant then, when the moment came, strike with the fury of an entire nation. On the surface of the colony, the people listened to the mysterious voice. Some cried with relief, others whispered in disbelief. Who was that? Is it us? Is it humanity? Someone is out there. Someone is protecting us. Hope flickered in their eyes for the first time. Meanwhile, the Dominion commander grew impatient. His claws scraped against the command chair as he sneered. Pathetic humans. They hide like insects. Burn their defenses. Show them fear. The order was given. Golden beams lit up the skies, cutting through the colony's shields. Explosions tore across the surface, fire raining from the heavens. The colonists screamed, and the Phantom waited inside the stealth ship. Tension filled the air. Officers watched the colony burn. Lieutenant Arden's fists clenched. "Captain, we can't wait any longer. They're slaughtering our people." Stone's expression remained calm, though her voice was steel. "We will not act in anger. If we strike too early, the cloak is wasted. We strike when it matters most." Her crew exchanged glances, but obeyed. They trusted her. The Phantom moved silently through the Dominion formation, weaving between cruisers and frigates. No alarm sounded. No ship turned to face them. To the Dominion, the humans still did not exist. Then came the moment. On the surface, the Dominion targeted the colony's power core. If destroyed, the entire settlement would collapse. Thousands would die instantly. The Dominion commander raised his arm, fire. But before the order was carried out, every screen in the fleet flickered. Static crackled through the comms, and then a new voice filled the air. Cold, calm, human. "You mocked us in your council halls. You laughed as you burned our colonies. You believed we were blind, but you never understood." The commander froze. His soldiers looked at one another in confusion. "Who dares speak?" He roared. The voice answered. Humanity was listening. Humanity was watching. And now humanity strikes. Asterisk, the cloak dropped. The Phantom appeared in the heart of the Dominion fleet. One moment, there was nothing. The next, a massive black warship filled the void. Its armored hull gleamed faintly, covered in scars of old battles. Its guns glowed as they charged. Silence spread across the Dominion channels. The commander's eyes widened. Impossible. That ship cannot be human. But it was. On the colony surface, people looked up and saw it for the first time. A black giant in the sky, dwarfing the alien cruisers around it. Cheers erupted through the streets. Soldiers dropped to their knees, crying with joy. Children pointed at the heavens, shouting, "It's ours. That's ours." For the first time, humanity had shown its hidden teeth. On the Phantom's bridge, Captain Stone's voice was steady. "We are revealed. Arm all weapons. Target their flagship." Her crew obeyed instantly. Railguns hummed, missiles armed, lasers charged. The Dominion commander screamed in panic. "Destroy it. All ships destroy that vessel." But the Phantom was already moving. The first volley fired. Railgun rounds shot across space like falling stars. Missiles streaked from hidden bays, splitting into dozens of warheads. The nearest Dominion cruiser didn't even have time to raise shields. It split apart instantly, fire consuming its hull. The fleet erupted into chaos. The Phantom weaved through their formation, guns blazing, shadows wrapping its frame. Every shot was precise, brutal, unstoppable. Cruisers exploded. Frigates shattered. The Dominion's proud fleet was torn apart by a ship they had believed did not exist. On the ground, the colonists roared. They had been moments from death. Now they watched as their enemy burned. The mysterious human voice echoed again across the comms. "You mocked humanity, but you forgot one truth. Shadows have teeth." The Phantom surged forward, its black hull glowing with firelight as Dominion ships died around it. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy understood. Humanity had returned. Asterisk, the unmasking. The galaxy had always believed humans were weak. But as the Phantom revealed itself in the heart of the Dominion fleet, that belief shattered. One moment the sky above the colony had been filled with golden warships, their weapons blazing. The next, a black giant stood among them, guns glowing like the eyes of a predator. The Dominion commander stared at the massive ship on his viewscreen. His scaled jaw tightened. Impossible, he hissed. Humans cannot build this. No mortal race can hide such a monster from us. But the monster was real. On the Phantom's bridge, Captain Alara Stone gave her orders calmly, as if she were not commanding the most dangerous ship the galaxy had ever seen. Target the nearest cruiser. Fire at will. The Phantom struck railgun. Shells tore through the void, glowing hot from the speed of their launch. They slammed into the golden cruiser ahead. Its shields lit up bright, trying to hold, but human shells were too heavy, too fast. The shields cracked, shattered, and the cruiser split in half. An explosion lit the darkness. The crew on the Phantom did not cheer. They did not shout. They simply prepared the next volley. Target to locked, ready to fire. Do it. Another. Cruiser fell, then another. On the ground, colonists screamed with joy. People who had been seconds from death now pointed at the sky with tears streaming down their faces. That's ours, they shouted. That's a human ship. Children jumped and clapped. Soldiers raised their rifles and roared in triumph. The Dominion had come to make humans kneel. Instead, they were burning. The alien commander tried to steady his fleet. All ships, concentrate fire. Destroy it. Dozens of beams fired at once. Golden energy lanced through space, striking the Phantom's hull. The ship shook, its shields flaring bright. Warning lights blinked across the bridge. Shields at 80%, Lieutenant Arden reported. Stone nodded. Maintain course. Let them see us. Let them fear us. The Phantom fired again. Missiles launched in swarms, splitting into dozens of smaller warheads. They slipped through shield gaps, detonating inside enemy engines. Dominion frigates spun out of control, crashing into one another. Cruisers erupted into flames, breaking apart piece by piece. The fleet was falling into chaos. In the council chamber far away, alien delegates watched live feeds of the battle. At first, they had laughed at humans. Now, silence filled the hall. The images were undeniable. A single human warship tearing apart the Dominion fleet. One delegate whispered, they had this hidden. Another muttered, if one ship can do this, what happens when they bring more? Fear replaced laughter. Back above the colony, the Phantom closed on the Dominion flagship. The commander snarled, claws digging into his throne. Fire the supercannon. Tear that ship apart. His crew obeyed. The flagship's weapon charged, golden energy building into a massive beam, firing in 3, 2. The Phantom struck first. Its main railgun glowed white-hot, firing a round faster than sound could be imagined. The shell slammed into the flagship's cannon. The weapon core exploded instantly, tearing half the ship apart in a storm of fire. The commander screamed in rage as his bridge collapsed around him. His final words echoed across the comms. They are not prey, they are predators. Then the signal died. On the Phantom's bridge, silence hung for a moment. Only the hum of weapons charging again filled the air. Lieutenant Arden turned to the captain, his voice sharp. The fleet is breaking. Should we finish them off? Captain Stone stared at the screen, her eyes cold. She knew every council, every empire, every slave world would be watching. This was not just victory, was a message. Yes, she said, but not for us, for the galaxy. The Phantom moved like a phantom indeed, weaving through the Dominion fleet. Railguns, lasers, and missiles fired without pause. Each strike was precise, merciless. The Dominion's golden ships exploded one after another, until the sky above the colony was filled with fire. At last, the surviving ships broke and fled. The once proud Dominion, who had mocked humans as weak, now ran in terror from a single warship. On the ground, the colonists roared with joy. They hugged one another, cried, shouted the same word again and again. Humanity, humanity. The people had seen the impossible, and now they believed. Captain Stone stood at the center of her bridge, her voice steady as ever. "Open a channel," she ordered. A moment later, her voice carried across the colony, across the fleeing Dominion ships, and into the council feeds. "You mocked us in your chambers. You called us weak, but today humanity stands. Remember this, shadows hide sharp teeth. If you threaten us again, you will never see us coming." Her words echoed into silence. In the colonies, cheers erupted. In the Dominion, whispers of fear spread. In the council, silence reigned. The galaxy had seen the truth. Humanity was no longer weak. Humanity had a phantom, and the shadows were watching. Asterisk, the shadows bite, the battle was over. But the war was not. The Dominion flagship lay in ruins, burning as it fell into the gravity of the planet below. The rest of the enemy fleet had broken and fled. The colony was safe for now, but in the void, danger still lingered. Inside the Phantom, the crew worked quickly. Engineers sealed cracked hull plates. Medics tended to the wounded. The ship was alive, but its stealth fields flickered. Damaged by the strain of battle, Lieutenant Arden studied his console with tense eyes. "Captain, sensors picking up new contacts, multiple jump signatures. Incoming ships." The bridge fell silent. "How many, Captain?" Alara Stone asked, her voice calm but sharp. Arden swallowed. "Too many. At least 20 cruisers, 5 destroyers, and a battleship." The crew stiffened. They had just destroyed a Dominion fleet. Now another one was arriving. The captain did not flinch. Her eyes stayed cold, her voice steady. "Good, let them come." Moments later, the void rippled. One by one, Dominion reinforcements appeared. Golden warships, fresh and untouched, entered the system like wolves scenting blood. Their weapons glowed, their engines burned bright. On the lead battleship, the new commander snarled. His eyes blazed with hatred. "One ship destroyed our brothers. Then we will tear this ghost apart. Humanity will learn fear again." His fleet spread into formation, surrounding the colony like a net, but the Phantom did not move. On the planet's surface, colonists watched the skies darken again. Joy turned to fear. "More of them," one whispered. "Can we survive another fight?" Parents pulled children close. Soldiers gripped their rifles, though they knew rifles meant nothing against starships. Then they remembered the Black Shadow, the ship that had saved them once. They whispered its name like a prayer. The Phantom, it's still there. On the Phantom's bridge, Captain Stone studied the display. The Dominion ships moved in confidence, believing numbers alone would give them victory. "They still think this is a normal war," she said softly. Arden turned to her. "Captain, we can't take them head on. Not with the cloak damaged." Stone's lips curved into a faint smile. Who said, "We'll face them head on"? Her orders came sharp and precise. Power down main lights. Cut engines to minimum. Reactivate. Partial cloak. We become shadows again. The Phantom vanished from sight. The Dominion fleet scanned furiously, but their sensors showed nothing. Empty space. No target. The commander roared. "Find them. They can't disappear." But they could. The Phantom moved silently, slipping through the gaps between ships, invisible even in plain sight. Inside the Dominion battleship, crew members grew uneasy. Screens flickered. Systems glitched. The comms crackled with static. "Something is here," one officer whispered. "Something is watching us." And then the attack came. The Phantom struck from the dark. A sudden volley of railgun rounds tore through the nearest destroyer. The ship split in half before alarms could even sound. The Phantom was gone again before the others could fire. Then another Dominion ship exploded, its engines pierced by hidden missiles. The fleet fired wildly into the void, beams of golden energy cutting across empty space. But they hit nothing. The Phantom was everywhere and nowhere. On the ground, colonists watched the sky erupt with fire. One by one, Dominion ships exploded, but the black ship was never seen. Children shouted with joy, "It's a ghost. The Phantom is a ghost." The people laughed and cried, watching as the unseen guardian tore their enemies apart. On the Dominion battleship, panic spread. "They're inside the formation. We can't track them. Our ships are falling one by one." The commander slammed his claw against the chair. "Cowards, show yourselves." As if in answer, the Phantom appeared directly ahead of his battleship. For one heartbeat, the humans let the cloak drop. The giant black warship filled his view screen. Its weapons glowed, its presence heavy and terrible. Then a human voice spoke. Through the comms, calm, cold. "You wanted us to show ourselves. Now look, this is the face of your fear." The Phantom's guns roared. Railgun shells ripped into the battleship's hull. Missiles struck its engines, tearing fire across its frame. The Dominion flagship shuddered, shields failing. The commander screamed, "Return fire." But it was too late. The Phantom struck again, precise and merciless. The Dominion battleship exploded in a storm of fire, pieces scattering into the void. The rest of the fleet broke. Ships turned and fled in panic, engines burning. As they raced into hyperspace, the survivors carried with them not victory, but terror. On the Phantom's bridge, silence settled. Smoke curled through the vents, panels sparked, but the crew was steady. "Enemy fleet retreating," Arden reported, his voice almost disbelieving. Captain Stone nodded once. "Good. Let them run. Let them carry the story." Her eyes were cold, her voice sharper than steel. "The galaxy mocked us. Let them mock again. But now, when they laugh, they will remember what hides in the dark." On the colony below, the people erupted into cheers. They had watched their enemies burn and flee twice in one day. They raised their voices to the stars, shouting the ship's name. Phantom, Phantom, Phantom. No longer just a ship. Now it was a legend. Far away, in alien halls, whispers began. The Dominion had lost twice, their fleets destroyed by shadows, their battleships humbled and everywhere. One name spread across the galaxy, humanity. Asterisk the lesson the smoke of battle still drifted through orbit. The Dominion fleets were gone, broken and scattered. Wreckage of golden ships burned in the void, like dying stars. And at the center of it all, silent and steady, the phantom remained. The colonists on the ground stared upward, their fear replaced with awe. Children pointed at the dark giant above, their voices full of pride. Soldiers saluted. The sky. Farmers wept openly. For generations, the galaxy had called humanity weak. But now, one stealth ship had destroyed 2 fleets. And the galaxy would never forget it. Inside the Phantom, the crew worked in silence. Engineers patched damaged systems. Medics treated the wounded, and officers reported victory after victory. Lieutenant Arden approached the command chair. His voice was hushed, still heavy with disbelief. "Captain, we drove them back twice. We destroyed their battleship. We forced the Dominion to flee." Captain Alara Stone sat calm, her eyes fixed on the stars. She gave only a small nod. "Yes, but this is not the end." This was a lesson. The bridge fell quiet. "A lesson for them," she continued. "And for us, they mocked us in their councils. They thought humanity was fragile. But today, the galaxy trembled because they finally saw what hides in our shadows. Far away, in the chambers of the Galactic Council, delegates watched recordings of the battle. The feeds showed the Phantom decloaking, burning through fleets and vanishing again like a ghost. They saw the Dominion battleship explode, its commander's screams cut short. Silence filled the council hall. The same aliens who had laughed at humans now shifted uneasily in their seats. One delegate whispered, "If one human ship can do this, what will their fleets do?" Another muttered, "We mocked them. Perhaps we should not have." Fear replaced laughter in the throne halls of Zerethis Prime. The Dominion overlords, Sethithist, High Overlord Karith, roared in fury. "One ship, one mortal ship humiliated us. The galaxy whispers their name." His generals lowered their eyes, afraid to meet his gaze. "The Phantom, it is not like anything we have faced before. We must respond carefully." But Karith slammed his claw against the throne. "Careful. No, we will burn them. We will burn every world they claim." Yet even he, the most ruthless of the Dominion, could not shake the unease in his heart. The humans had proven what no other race dared. The gods of the galaxy could bleed. Back on the colony, the people celebrated. Fires lit the night sky as families sang songs of survival. They carved the name Phantom into stone walls, into steel, doors, into memory. For them, the black ship was no longer just a war machine. It was proof that humanity was not weak. Proof that humanity could fight back. On the Phantom's bridge, Captain Stone stood at the viewport. Her crew gathered around. "Transmit a message," she ordered, to the colony. Arden asked. "No," she said, her voice sharp. "To everyone, to every star, every world, every empire. Let the galaxy hear us." Moments later, the transmission began. It spread faster than light, bouncing across relays, pirate channels, council networks, and Dominion frequencies alike. The voice of Captain Alara Stone carried through the void. Calm, cold, unstoppable. "You mocked humanity. You called us weak. You believed we had no claws, no teeth, no shadows. And for years, we let you believe it." Her eyes burned as she continued. "But today, the Phantom appeared. Today, you saw the truth. Humanity does not kneel. Humanity does not beg. Humanity waits. And when the moment comes, humanity strikes." She paused, her final words echoing like thunder. "Laugh at us again, and you will not see us coming. We are the shadows, and shadows always bite. The galaxy trembled on slave worlds. Whispers became shouts. Rebellions began to spark. On neutral planets, rulers looked at their defenses and wondered if they would be next. Even within the Dominion, soldiers whispered the same word with dread: humans. On the colony, the people cheered as the message ended. They raised their voices to the stars, chanting the same name again and again: Phantom, Phantom, Phantom. Inside the ship, Captain Stone returned to her chair. Her crew watched her, pride shining in their eyes. "What now, Captain?" Arden asked quietly. Stone's gaze stayed fixed on the endless stars. "Now," she said, "we wait. Let them tremble. Let them fear. The galaxy mocked us once. They will not mock us again." Her voice dropped to a whisper, colder than steel. "And when they come for us, we'll show them what humanity truly is." The Phantom's engines flared. Slowly, silently, the great ship turned toward the dark. Its cloak shimmered, and then it was going to vanish into the void once more. But the legend remained. The galaxy would remember the day a hidden human ship revealed itself, the day the Dominion fled, the day shadows taught fear, the day humanity bit back.